Well, we'll have plugins. I don't know what it will run at 400 watts, but it may do what I need it to do. Just make sure it doesn't suck that battery down really bad. So, EverStart 400 watt inverter, and we'll play with it and see what it runs. But first, let's get it installed. We'll put it up there where we made the shelf. Should be a good place. It would have been so much easier to make these out of aluminum. But in keeping with the wood theme, they need to be wood. I've loosened this because I'm getting ready to take it all back out and refinish it all. So, okay, now we'll have to make the little ears. It'll go here to facilitate the width of the solar panel. That's next. So each of these holes matches each of these little protrusions, for lack of a better word, and it fits right down inside of it. That way when I bolt it, I'll get a nice tight fit. That was a little bit of a challenge, for sure, trying to get all of these lined up. But believe it or not, they actually do. So when I tighten the grab rails back down, it'll all tighten up. Okay, time to take it all apart again and stain it. Well, polyurethane it. It's installed. It works as far as the mounting brackets go. So now we're going to wire it through the top of the house. Yeah, I don't like drilling a hole in the top of the house. I don't like drilling a hole in it at all. We've already been over that a million times. But to run that much through the house, the cable, I think it's just best to go ahead and drill and plug it and be done with it. So that's what we'll do. Stand by for the drilling. There's a little better look of the mount, and I'm real happy with it. It's nice and solid. I rebed these, the grab rails, using 4200 to make sure that they don't weep when it rains, and made the walnut and white oak block here to hold the solar panel. So I think it should be able to handle 60, 70 mile an hour winds driving down the interstate. We'll see. Okay, so let's drill a hole. So we're about halfway through. We don't want to go all the way through because this is plywood and it'll really rip out the bottom with these type of bits. So we're going to drill a pilot hole, which it's made for us. And then we'll go inside and finish the hole from the bottom up. And that'll minimize, if not completely eliminate, any tear out. Be right back. Okay, that drilled out nicely. No worries at all. So, oh, nice snug fit. And again, these little black bushings are suspension pieces from Advanced Auto. You just go through the rack there in the help section. I couldn't even tell you what they go on, maybe a shock. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll epoxy that in with Gorilla Glue epoxy. But I won't do that till after I get everything wired. I'll go ahead and run my wire through, make sure it's a clean, good install, and then I'll epoxy this with Gorilla Glue epoxy. I don't care too much for boat epoxy when it comes to this type of adhesion stuff. So let's do that after we run our wire. Okay, that worked out pretty nice. I like that. Probably pull a little bit more slack. I don't want to put this in a bind, but I don't want it sticking out where it might catch walking along the edge of the rail there. So pretty decent install. Yeah, no complaints. So I'll go inside now and wire the solar controller. Advanced Auto suspension bushing, just out hanging on their shelves. It came in a 3-pack. So you saw where we used one to wire the bilge pump, where we went through the back of the house. So not a bad investment for $8. It sure made a nice tight seal. Okay, let's go inside and wire it. So this is where we came through the house top, house roof. And what I'm thinking is mounting the solar controller over underneath her plate. I think that's probably the best place for it. So I can't do all this and hold the camera, so I'll go ahead and mount it and we'll look at it afterwards. And she mounted nicely. So I can run the wire up around the sign and around and through the bottom. Then through the bottom here, through this shelf, to get to the battery. So I'm going to put a fan in here before I pass out. It's 80 degrees today. If I had $1 for every time I've crawled up into this boat, I could go ahead and retire. But that's just the way it goes. Okay, to bring you up to speed, the battery is installed. Solar charger's hooked up except for the solar panel wire, and that's it dangling. I made my own little push pins so that I could disconnect this if I wanted to go without the solar panel. It's just easy. Pull it out from underneath the solar charger and pull up through the hole in the cabin top and lift the panel off. So that way it's removable. Okay. Oh, and it was charging. It's pretty cool to watch the voltage go up on the, yeah, back to work. We are making power. That's our battery voltage. And 1 amp, we were up to 4 amps, but it got a little cloudy. So good to go. We'll mount it, clean up the wire loom, and move on to another project. Installed. I'll put a couple wire loom hangers, keep it up out of the way, and clean up my mess. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Well, while I decide, we'll sand that down to the fiberglass. That way we get good adhesion. At least that is the plan. Hey, just wait. Not too much. We don't want a lot of squeeze out. Just a bigger mess to clean up. And of course, we've measured our screws so that we don't go through the side of the boat, because we do not want to do that if we can help it. And we can help it. Whew. So I should never eat tacos before you come in and do this. Or eat anything for that matter. Remember, our screws were just there to hold it flush, but it will come back out so they do not get in the way of the inverter mount. I am so close to that, I'm actually looking at it cross-eyed. Or maybe I hit my head getting in and don't remember. Okay, that's better. Not as cross-eyed this time. This is the Rust-Oleum topside paint. I've mentioned it before. Love it, hate it, I don't know. It works though, and it gets hard as the dickens. It really flows good too. But for this type of work, this type of boat, yeah, I think it's great. Excuse me. There's no sense spending $300 or $400. I mean, you've seen me put paint on this boat just in these projects and then turn around and grind it right back off. So for a good, and it is a durable paint that's not $10,000 a can or quart. I have no complaints. It's getting to the point now, though, where you have to order it from Amazon. You can't really just go out and buy it anymore like you could. Menards and Lowe's used to actually carry it, but you cannot put it on thick. You got to put it on, of course I do, because I don't care, but it takes a while to harden. So if you put it on thick, you got to kind of stay away from it for a little while. Okay, let's see if we can install this inverter without getting in our paint. So remove these. So all the tests and mess I've been doing with the battery, it's pulled it down somewhat. So I'll have to put the charger on it. So if I had solar hooked up to it, it wouldn't have done any good because I'm inside the garage. Okay, so we'll leave that alone, let it dry, or otherwise it'll end up in my hair. Next project.